Hi, my shining stars, it's your girl Dalesky back with another video to help you to be who God has called you to be. If you are new here and you want to join the squad, all you have to do is hit the big subscribe button down below, like, comment, and have your post notifications to be notified when I upload a new video like this. That's so if you're listening on YouTube. If you're listening on the podcast, all you have to do is follow and have your post notifications on to be notified when I upload on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Google Podcasts. Make sure you share this video with a friend. You don't know who needs to hear these words. So make sure you share with a friend. And either if you are a returning star or a new viewer, I'm so happy to have you here. Now let's get on with the video. So today I will be talking to you guys about 5 signs God may be telling you to rest. And God telling you to rest, you may find yourself working more when God is telling you to do less and to rest with Him. This video is not to condemn you or make you feel guilty at all, but is to help you throughout your walk with God, because in this walk you are not alone. And I wish that a few months ago I knew the signs that God is telling me to rest, because it would have saved me from feeling burnt out. And I hope this video gives you the confirmation, and I pray that God uses me to confirm to you signs that God is calling you to rest. In those moments where you are overworking yourself and not resting, it can result in us feeling tired or drained even. God is inviting you to His presence so you can rest in Him, because you can't pour from an empty cup, and God is pouring into you in that period rest. So I hope these signs encourage you. If you're experiencing any of these, give you clarity and direction to what you may be experiencing and to lead you back to God. So with further ado, I'm going to tell you guys the first sign God may be telling you to rest, and it is feeling mentally burnt out. So we're going to be turning to Matthew. I'm up have it right here. Matthew 11 verses 28. But we're going to look at specifically the MSG version. So I'll read it out loud. Are you tired, worn out, burnt out on religion? Come to me, get away with me, and you will recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me and work with me. Watch how I do it. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. I won't lay anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me, and you will learn to live freely and lightly. So you may be feeling tired or drained, or maybe you're feeling in the sense of lack of motivation for school, work, or lack of motivation in general. But feeling mentally burnt out, or sometimes it will cause you to feel like a failure or cause you to doubt. It's normal to feel tired, but when it gets to a point where you're constantly feeling drained or feeling like a lack of motivation or a feeling like a failure or doubting, that is a sign God is telling you you need to rest. This is something what I experienced. There were seasons in my life where I felt drained and I ignored it because the physical quote unquote wasn't there. Or it seemed like the physical signs weren't there. Like I was tired, quote unquote tired, but I would blame it on not getting enough rest the night before. But the feeling of tired began to be an everyday thing, and God was nudging on me to get off social media so I can spend time with Him and so He can pour into me. But I never gave Him space to speak to me. So every time He would nudge me to like get off social media and everything, I just stayed on it because I never gave Him the space to, speak to me. But once I took the time away from social media, which was a fight because like I just want to, just see what everyone's doing, like, just to see, like, you know, just to post some flicks. Like, it was just like, it was like, you know, what if I miss out on something? Like, you know, why? Like, it was a fight. And because, again, the physical signs weren't there. But once I took that time away from social media, I felt God restoring me and giving me strength. The verse said, the verse doesn't say, come to alcohol, come to drinking alcohol, come to social media, or suppressing your emotions, you get real rest. No, the verse says, are you tired, worn out, or burnt out on religion? Come to me, get away with me, and you recover your life. I'll show you how to get real rest. And I just want to emphasize the part where it says, come to me, get away with me, and you will recover your life. And I'll show you how to take real rest. It is when you go to the presence of God, you experience real rest, and God recovers and restores your life. Sign number 2, feeling weary. And we're going to say on the same verse, but we're saying on the same verse. And we're going to look at the NIV version. Give me a second so I can pull it up. Give me a second, sorry. So we are going to pull it up right here. It says, come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I'll give you rest. And that's from the same chapter and same verse, Matthew 11, verse 28, the NIV, New International Version. So the second sign is feeling weary. Merriam-Webster defines weary as exhausted in strength, endurance, vigor, freshness. So we're going to just focus on the first 2 lines of the sentences of the definition they give us. Exhausted in strength and endurance. Have you been feeling exhausted or drained in strength or even energy? In other words, have you been feeling spiritually defeated or drained, or it's been hard to get the strength to keep pushing forward? Sometimes I feel the feeling of weariness when I do things on my own timing, my own way, and my own timeline that I have put in place. Like, I'm telling you, like, oh, I need to do this by a certain timeline. I'm not talking about schoolwork. Like, I'm talking like, oh, I need to be married by the age of 25. And then here I am, like, you know, approaching the age of 25, and I'm like, I'm just getting, you know, stressed out. I'm putting more stress on myself than it needs to be. Like, or I need to have my first house before, like, stuff like that. You know, I'm putting a timeline on my own strength. Like, it's just putting a timeline, doing things my own time, when God has a specific time for where it needs to be. Perhaps it is 25, perhaps it is 27, but I need to keep trusting in God that whatever God has promised me, is gonna happen in His timing, and I need to know that, trust that His timing is better than mine. Because that's the thing, if I rush to get married in the age of 25, I got married at the age of 25. But what happened if it ends up being a toxic marriage and it's not the relationship God ordained, and now I'm heartbroken, and then God promised me like I was gonna get married at the age of 26. So now I'm heartbroken, and then God still fulfill His promise for me, but now because I did that, see, I feel like this word just for someone. But God still fulfilled the promise, but now you have hurt. You're going to the marriage that God ordained hurt, and God did not intend that hurt. But that's what happens sometimes when we rush to do things on our own timing, and it can result in weariness, feelings of weariness. But back to what I was saying, going in the presence of God can help you overcome the feeling of spiritual weariness, because not only because he would not only guide your step, or should I say, readjust your steps because you are walking with him. So walking with God, he would just say this step, is patience. This step is love. This step is forgiveness. And all those steps are gonna help you to get to your blessing. Because nothing God puts us through is in vain. It's all gonna work together for our good, even if it doesn't seem like it. Number 3, you're carrying things that you're not meant to carry. So we're gonna stay on the same book, same chapter, same verse. Matthew 11, verse 28. So don't change your Bible real quick. We're staying on this chapter, but I want to focus on let me see. I want to focus on 2 versions. So we're going to look at the ERV version. So you can access this on your phone on that Bible app, and the CSV. So the ERV is the easy to read version, and then the CSV is the contemporary English version. So come to me who are all tired from the burden you have been forced to carry. I'll give you rest. If you are tired from carrying heavy burdens, come to me and I'll give you rest. So this is the 3rd sign that God is inviting you to rest in him, is when you are carrying things that you're not meant to carry. I shared this in my The Power of Letting Go Part 2 video, and this video is only on YouTube, so feel free to check it out if you're new here and you haven't checked it out already. And if you need encouragement on letting go, feel free to go ahead check out The Power of Letting Go Part 2 after this episode. But I felt like sharing this on this episode as well. So as I'm speaking, I just want you to picture this. So I want you to picture you're carrying picture this. So you're carrying some things, many things. A ball in your hand, a trophy, another ball, books in your hands, and you're carrying all this, right? Like picture all that. Books, trophy, a ball, another ball, and you're carrying all this. How does it feel? It feels heavy, right? So God tries to throw you a ball because he wants you to catch the ball, but you realize in order to catch the ball, you have to drop something. And that something might be viable in this case. You might have to drop your way of thinking, but you don't want to drop it because that's how you used to do things. That's how you cope with things. And in order to catch the ball, you have to drop some things. And it may be viable. And while you're you have to, it's either you drop something or you just continue to hold on to the things that you're holding on to. But the funny thing is, sometimes you end up dropping something, and when you do drop it, you just probably just like, it wasn't even viable anyway. Or you find a way to catch the ball without dropping anything. And God is like, come on now. You're not meant to carry this. Give it to me so you can catch the ball that I've thrown at you. Like, you're not meant to carry all the trophies, the book, the ball, another ball. And God is like, you're not meant to carry this. Give it to me. And those specific items, I have a feeling you know what those are to you. What the things that you were carrying, and God is just like, give it to me. But you're just like, no, God, I'm not perfect. No, God, I sinned against you. No, God. And God is just like, give it to me. You're not meant to carry it. And and that's the thing, like, and you're like, no, God, I got it. But the things that you are carrying are hurting you. So when God sent his only son, Jesus, to die for you and for our sins, he was carrying the cross, which this also supports, exemplifies how God and Jesus are meant to carry what is weighing on your heart, like all the books, all the ball, all the books, the ball, the trophy. Let it go. The things the things that you were holding on to are holding you back. Like if you drop this trophy, for instance, you'll be like, "Oh no, my trophy," and go back to pick it up. But now your focus is not on God, but on the things that you're holding on to. And another thing, and that's what it looks like, carry on things that you're not meant to carry. But carrying things that you're not meant to carry can look like worry. Perhaps it's worrying about the next 5 cents. Like, what if I fail? What if it's not successful? Am I good enough? Will they say by you? It's likely that someone is replaying these questions continually in their mind and in their head. Because we live in a world, it seems like you have to get everything by a certain age. If you don't, you're behind. These questions seem to relate to our own strength and our own worth. And that's not the truth. That is not tied to your strength, your worth, because when you look at Jeremiah 29, verse 11, it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, and to give you plans to give you hope in the future." The verse did not say, "For I, Dalesky," or "For I, John, knows the plans that I have for you," declares Dalesky. Like it doesn't say, "For I, John, know the plans I have for you," declare John. It doesn't say that. The verse says, "For I know the plans I have for you," declare the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and to give you hope in the future. Can I speak life to someone right now? Can I speak life to someone right now? I don't know the plans that God has for me, but that's okay because God knows the plans He has for me. And God has plans for me, good plans. He has plans for good future for me. He has a future plans for me that will give me hope, plans that will prosper me, and plans that will give me a good future. So, and if you are overthinking and have these questions replaying in your mind, and your work, and especially if you're working your purpose, and those questions like, what if I fail? What if I'm not successful? What if people don't support me? I just want you to show up anyway. And I want to just say that those questions are none of your business. Like, what if I fail? What if I'm not successful? You just got one job, and it is to be obedient, to be blessed, and to be a blessing. There's nothing else you have to do. Just be a blessing, to be blessed, and to show up, and to be obedient. I want to just go back to it because it's like God. We don't know the plans that God has for me, plus but the plans that God has for us. But it is good. And this, I don't know if someone's overthinking right now, but God has good plans for you. No matter what you're going through right now, just keep putting one feet in front of the other. And as long as you're doing that, and it's towards towards God, if that one step is towards God, you're doing the best you can. And God has good plans for you. Even when it seems like right now, God has good plans for you. And God, once again, like God is inviting you to His presence. He doesn't want you to run away from Him. He doesn't want you to run away from your emotions. He wants you to come to Him because He can take what is weighing on you. He wants to take the trophy. He wants to take the books. He wants to take the balls, the ball that you had, the other ball you had. He wants to take all that from you because it's heavy on you. And He wants to give you in return what is light. Number 4, you're overworking yourself. The fourth sign of God telling you you need to rest is you're overworking yourself. Ouch. We're going to turn to Genesis 2, verses 2 to 3. By the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day, he rested from all his work. Then he blessed the seventh day and made it holy. Sorry, guys. He made it holy because on it he rested from all the work sorry, guys. Let me just start from the beginning. Then God blessed the Sunday and made it holy because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. So in Genesis, the first two chapters is God just creating, the first chapter of Genesis, God was, creating the heavens and earth. And then the beginning of Genesis 2, we see God resting. This is after, this is God resting after he just created the heavens and earth. And he was working for 7 days straight, grinding, and after those 6 days of working, God did not question or overthink the work he just finished. And I found that interesting because, for me, like I tend to question or overthink the work I just finished. When it comes to taking a test, I look over my test and either everything is good and I hand it in, or sometimes I look it over and I realize I need to fix some answers and need to check it over. Like my Scantron is not matching up with my physical test. Like I had to fix 1 through 10 because it's not matching with my physical test. And now it's like, because question 5 is saying it's A, and then on my physical test it's saying D. So I'm like, what is the answer? What is the answer? But that causes me to work more than I expected, and it causes me to, and then when I hand it in, I'm like, is this even correct? Like, what is the correct answer at this point? Like, I'm just doubting at this point, just to be told. So then, I'm doing more work than expected now, and I'm filled with doubt. When then before, like, I'm confident and I know that, I did everything I was supposed to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing. God did not question or, doubt or question the work or overthink the work that he just finished because he knows he did everything with intention. Like, if God was questioning or overthinking or questioning the creation he just created, like, what if this isn't good enough? Will people see value in this? It will cause him to be working on a day he was called to rest. But instead, after the work that he did was completed, God rested and gave himself a day to rest. You deserve rest, and that rest comes from God. There could be a million reasons why you could be feeling weary or burnt out, but one of them can be you're working on a day that God designed you to rest. And the last and final sign that God is calling you to rest, that you maybe need to rest, is you're not at peace. We're gonna look at 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verses 12 to 13. All these verses I'm gonna have up here, but here it goes, and we're gonna be reading it from the New Living Translation. And it says, "When I came to the city of Taurus to preach the good news of Christ, the Lord opened an opportunity for me, but I had no peace of mind because my dear brother Titus hadn't yet arrived with a report from you. So I said goodbye and went to Macedonia to find him." Sorry guys for the noise outside. But so in this verse, Paul had an open door for him that God blessed him with to preach the gospel. But he couldn't accept the opportunity because Titus was not there with him and his spirit was not at rest. Other Bible versions say rest instead of peace of mind. So where peace is where rest is. And a mind that is not at peace, and if you are not resting, a mind that is not at peace, or not, if you're not resting in God, it will not allow you to enjoy what God has blessed you with. So when we are resting in God, God provides us with peace. You cannot appreciate what God has given you if you are not resting, because you will leave doors that God has blessed you with. These are the 5 signs that God is telling you you need to rest. I hope this video encouraged you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments below if you ever felt God telling you to rest, and if so, how did God reveal it to you, and what did you do that allowed you to rest in God? And I thank you, and this is for the people listening on YouTube and also on Spotify. If you're listening on Spotify, please let me know as well. I'm asking you guys the same question. If you ever felt God telling you to rest, and if so, how did God reveal it to you, and what allowed you to rest in God? And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video, and I love you guys so much. Bye.